If you're a mom who feels like you're doing everything right and you're still struggling financially, I need you to hear this. You are not imagining it. You're not crazy. And you're definitely not lazy. In fact, the problem might be that you're working too hard in the wrong direction. I know that's not what most people tell you. Most people say, work harder, pick up more shifts, get a second job, hustle more, grind harder. But let me ask you something. How's that working out? Seriously, think about it. You've probably worked harder this year than ever before. You've sacrificed sleep. You've sacrificed time with your family. You've sacrificed your energy. You've pushed through exhaustion. You've shown up when you didn't feel like it. You've worked overtime. You've taken on extra responsibilities. And yet somehow your bank account still looks the same. Or worse. Maybe you're making more money than you were a few years ago, but somehow you still feel broke. Groceries cost more. Gas costs more. Rent costs more. Mortgage payments cost more. Insurance costs more. Everything costs more. So despite all your hard work, it feels like you're running on a treadmill. You're moving constantly, but you're not getting anywhere. And that's because the financial advice most people follow is outdated. Years ago, working harder often led to getting ahead. Today, not necessarily. Today, many people are working harder than ever and still struggling. Why? Because you have an income problem, not a work ethic problem. Let that sink in. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more discipline. You don't need another lecture about waking up earlier. You need a way to create more income without sacrificing every minute of your life. Because there are only 24 hours in a day. And most moms are already stretched to the limit. You wake up tired. You go to work. You take care of your kids. You make meals. You clean the house. You run errands. You handle appointments. You help with homework. You solve everyone's problems. Then you finally sit down at night completely exhausted. And someone online says, just work harder. Harder than what? You're already doing everything you can. The problem isn't effort. The problem is leverage. Most people trade time for money. You work 1 hour. You get paid for 1 hour. You stop working. The money stops. It's a system with limits. No matter how hardworking you are, there's always a ceiling. That's why so many moms feel trapped, because they can see the math isn't working. They know they need more income, but they don't know where to find it. And maybe that's exactly where you are right now. Maybe you're lying awake at night, wondering how you're going to get ahead. Maybe you're worried about unexpected expenses. Maybe you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're tired of checking your bank account before buying groceries. Maybe you're tired of saying no to things you'd love to do with your family. Maybe you're tired of feeling stressed every time a bill arrives. If that's you, I want to tell you something important. The answer is not another job. The answer is learning a skill. Because skills create opportunities, skills create income, skills create options. And that's exactly what most struggling moms are missing. Not because they're incapable, not because they're not smart enough, not because they don't work hard enough, but because nobody taught them how valuable skills can be. Think about every person making money online. Most of them are not geniuses. Most of them are not special. Most of them simply learned something valuable. They learned how to create content. They learned marketing. They learned how social media works. They learned how businesses attract customers. They learned how to solve problems. Then they used those skills to create income. And that's what changed everything. Now, before you click away because you think I'm about to tell you to become an influencer, hear me out. You do not need to be famous. You do not need millions of followers. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need a marketing degree. You do not need years of experience. You do not need to be the smartest person in the room. You simply need to be willing to learn. That's it. But here's what stops most moms. Overwhelm. The internet is full of conflicting advice. One person says start affiliate marketing. Another says drop shipping. Someone else says Amazon. Then there's coaching. Then there's freelancing. Then there's YouTube. Then there's TikTok. Then there's AI. Then there's digital products. And before you know it, you're drowning in information. You spend months researching, months watching videos, months trying to figure out what works. And at the end of it all, you're even more confused than when you started. The truth? You don't need more information. You need a simple path. Because overwhelmed people don't take action. They freeze. And that's why so many moms stay stuck. Not because they lack potential, because they lack clarity. Let me ask you something. What would happen if nothing changed? What would your life look like 1 year from now? 3 years from now? 5 years from now? Would you still be worrying about money? Would you still be stressed about bills? Would you still be living paycheck to paycheck? Would you still be wondering if you'll ever get ahead? Those are uncomfortable questions, but they're important. Because sometimes the biggest risk isn't trying something new. Sometimes the biggest risk is staying exactly where you are. And I think deep down you know that. You know something has to change. You know continuing down the same path isn't producing the results you want. You know your family deserves more. You know you deserve more. You know you're capable of more. The question is, what do you do next? This is where most people make a mistake. They start chasing shortcuts. They look for quick money, fast money, easy money, passive income overnight. And that's where they get disappointed. Because real results usually come from real skills, not shortcuts, skills. The beautiful thing about skills is nobody can take them away from you. A job can disappear. An employer can downsize. The economy can change. But skills stay with you. Once you learn them, they're yours. And that's why I believe learning digital marketing and content creation skills can be so powerful. Because businesses need customers. Customers come from attention. Attention comes from content and marketing. And those skills are more valuable today than ever before. Every day, millions of people scroll social media. Every day, businesses compete for attention. Every day, opportunities are created online. The question is whether you're going to stay on the sidelines watching or start learning how it works. Now let's talk about the biggest objections you might have. I don't have enough time. I understand. You're busy. But you don't need 8 hours a day. You don't need 40 hours a week. Many successful people started by dedicating small amounts of time consistently. 30 minutes, 1 hour, a little each day. Consistency beats intensity. I don't know anything about technology. Neither did most beginners. Nobody starts as an expert. Every expert was once confused. Every expert once had no idea what they were doing. The difference is they kept learning. What if I fail? What if you don't? What if the thing you're afraid to start becomes the thing that changes your life? What if 1 year from now, you're grateful you started today? The future version of you is depending on the decisions you make right now. And here's something nobody talks about enough. Success isn't usually one big breakthrough. It's small actions repeated over time. One video, one lesson, one skill, one step, one day at a time. The moms who create results are rarely the ones who know everything. They're the ones who keep moving forward even when they don't know everything. Because nobody knows everything. Not me. Not you. Not anyone. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. Now let's talk about what that progress can look like. Imagine having an additional income stream. Imagine having money left over at the end of the month. Imagine not panicking every time a bill arrives. Imagine being able to save. Imagine paying down debt. Imagine taking your kids somewhere without stressing about the cost. Imagine feeling hopeful instead of trapped. That's what most moms want. Not luxury, not private jets, not million-dollar mansions. Freedom, options, breathing room, less stress, more control. And that's exactly why I created my free masterclass. Because I know how overwhelming this journey can feel. I know what it's like to have questions. I know what it's like to wonder whether this stuff is real. I know what it's like to feel stuck. That's why the free masterclass exists. It's designed to help beginners understand how making money online actually works. Not the hype, not the scams, not the unrealistic promises, the real process. Inside the masterclass, you'll learn why working harder alone often isn't enough anymore. You'll learn why skills are the foundation of long-term income. You'll learn how ordinary people are using digital marketing and content creation to create opportunities online. You'll learn how beginners can get started without needing years of experience. You'll learn how to avoid common mistakes that keep people stuck. You'll learn what steps you can take to move forward with clarity and confidence. Most importantly, you'll walk away with a roadmap, because clarity changes everything. When you know what to do next, you stop feeling overwhelmed. You stop spinning your wheels. You stop jumping from opportunity to opportunity. You stop consuming endless content without taking action. You finally start moving forward. And that's what I want for you. Because I want you to stop doubting yourself. I want you to stop believing you're stuck. I want you to stop thinking your financial future is already decided. Because it isn't. Your story isn't finished. Your current situation is not your final destination. Things can change, but only if you decide to take the first step. Stop waiting. Stop researching endlessly. Stop telling yourself you'll start someday. Someday turns into next month. Next month turns into next year. And before you know it, years have passed. You deserve better than that. Your family deserves better than that. Your future deserves better than that. Click the link below and grab the free masterclass today. It's your opportunity to learn the skills, strategies, and mindset shifts that can help you create more options for yourself and your family. It's free, it's beginner-friendly, and it could be the first step toward finally breaking out of the cycle of financial stress. You don't need all the answers today, you just need a starting point. And that's exactly what this masterclass is designed to give you. Click the link below, get instant access, and start learning the skills that could help you create a future with more freedom, more confidence, and more opportunities than you have today. I'll see you inside the masterclass.